We will hear from him, and with him is his team, Mr. Sitish from GE, and Dr. Anila Maitri, who also works for project team. Now I leave it to Shyam and his team to carry this forward. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kiran. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Nice to hear a lot of energy this morning. So let me just give you this a little bit of a background on what this entire thing is. We called it Project Think. So I think it must be obvious to you what is our focus. Think. Science organization, bioscience and chemical science organizations, helping them build teams and hiring people, right, and building their organizations. And while I've been doing this for the last 7 years, one thing I've observed was there is a big gap between industry and colleges, right? And people say that students are not industry ready. I found it very intriguing because I've engaged with a lot of students, and one thing we found, the students are exceptionally bright. And then when you see a lot of bright people, then you're wondering why is it that people are not industry ready and what is this gap? And we also saw, when I also looked at a few trends, we saw that the same students, when they went up, we say Indians are not innovative, the young guys are not innovative, and we see the same person goes abroad and that person becomes innovative. And we see people coming back from the West, they come back to India, and then suddenly these companies go behind those people, right? The returning Indians, we call them, who studied abroad. So we actually asked ourselves a fundamental question: what is it that the West does, the education system does, that we are probably missing? And why? That's where we actually realized that while we have very strong knowledge levels, and I think our system is fantastic at knowledge and exams, somewhere the application of the knowledge to solve problems is perhaps a little lower than it should be. So while you know a lot of stuff, how do you actually connect it to solve real problems? So that's when we realized that's what the West is probably giving and doing better. And we said, okay, can we do that here? That was the prime premise. So we said, can we bring real problems, adapt? So you're studying a lot of stuff. Can we bring those real problems from industry, from the world around you, adapt them for classroom, and kind of augment the knowledge that you have with the application perspective, the ability to actually apply what you know to solve real problems. So we said, let's partner with industry, because this is where problems are being solved. Can we get industry on board? So we partnered, we met a lot of companies, and GE, the largest company in the world, is our lead partner for this initiative. And what we are doing is we are getting partnering with the industry to do two things. Part one is we run problem solving sessions. Leela will do a session today, so I won't talk about it. It will give you a flavor of what kind of problem solving happens, where we actually adapt a real problem and get you to think about it and think of different perspectives of how a problem could be solved. And part two of the program, during your final year project, we are actually going to get challenge projects from industry, where you actually get to work on challenge projects which are mentored by industry experts. And the idea is, can your project yield at least a poster, if not a publication or even IP? Goal is innovative thinking, application thinking, and a new breed of young generation who can actually generate employment as opposed to be purely dependent on employment. If you are employed, it will definitely make you more employable because you're much more, your thinking process has evolved a lot more than it would have. But it could make you an innovator and an entrepreneur as well. And if you're looking at higher education, I feel that it would only enhance your prospects. So that's the goal of this program. It is a certification program. At the end of the year, obviously, there will be a joint certification along with GE. Kshitij here is from GE. He'll speak a little bit about GE's perspective.
Hi everyone, good morning.
Good morning.
So why he is here? Why did we in project is okay coming to? It's very good to join. We found that a lot of people who come to us, a lot of people who come to our friends, our network, we are connected with all the companies, all the industry across India. A lot of times, what Shyam was talking about, they again said that the students are very bright. But again, we feel when they come to our company, when they join us, there is something lacking. There is something which is not working out. It takes time for them to actually adapt and come to us. Then we thought, and then we had a lot of discussions with the people, with Shyam. And as rightly told by some, that it's the type of thinking. It's not anyone's fault. It's the way we've been brought up. And once they get out of India, the thinking changes. And that's what we wanted to do. And we realized that something which is lacking is the entrepreneurship type of thinking. And that doesn't mean that if we want you all to open up companies all the time. Even entrepreneurship can happen within the organization. I am a very live example of that. I am a biotech engineer, I am an MBA, I am an entrepreneur, and then G also took me because they wanted to set up something very new within G. And companies like G, companies across India, they want you to actually question the status quo, which you don't, which we don't, which I never used to do until I found people like this. Status quo, it's something like what my boss tells, I have to do it. But if you actually question your boss, or people will also realize that there is a spark in you, which is very different from the normal set of people who just know how to do a pipetting, how to run an HPLC. You can do it, it will take you half a day, probably not half a day, it will take half a week to learn an HPLC. But where all can you put an HPLC is up to you. It's not just where all your company will learn how to do it. So there are applications of what you are already learning in your classroom. There are multiple applications that people have not thought of. Even I will never think about so many things which can come up here. So we want you to think, and we want you to realize that there is a lot of potential within you, which you just need to bring it up. And I guess this program is the best possible platform to get it out. And G, as lead partner, is there to support you in any hindrance which you feel is coming in this program, in which it comes in your project. Which, if you develop some new product, we'll be the one. If you come to us, I mean, it's up to you. We'll be the one who will help you out to take it to the market also. Shyam is a very connected person. He is linked to DBT. He is a major part in ABLE. He is there across India in bioscience. He's been there past 7 to 8 years across India's bio network, life science network. So there will be no problem in any of the things which you want to take ahead. And the only thing that will keep you from doing that is reaching out. Just be open. Just reach out to anyone. Just open up. That's the idea of project, and that's what we want to do.
Exactly. In project thing, the funda is you don't have to answer, you have to ask.
just do. And don't think what will people say. No? It will be the person's loss. Probably few years later, one of the companies will come out here. I'll give my CV to you.
Yeah. You might be asking for our CVs, you know.
All right. Yeah. That's it.
We can start the session.
Let's start with the
Yeah.
Have you all had your breakfast? Yes. Are you all sleepy? No. Are you all energetic? Yes. Bored? Not yet. Great. So what I'm going to do is, before I even start talking about what I want to, I would want to mix up all you guys into various groups. Alright? So before I do that, I want to know who are all the MSc students. Please raise your hands. Alright. Can I have all of you girls? Can I request the boys, okay, to just rearrange the chairs in such a way that we have 8 teams, okay, I have a semicircular arrangement, alright, 8 teams with each team having 8 chairs. Got what I'm saying? Yeah? So make one group here, and in a way that